E buonasera. Ciao Winchester, grazie mille per il lurchino. Ed è vero, stasera c'è la live di GDR di Veronica, che mi recupererò. Buonasera, ciao a tutti. Benvenuti al quarto. Ciao Alice, benvenuta, buonasera. Benvenuti al quarto episodio. Aspettate, shoutoutino Alice Misaki. Che so che stai streamando meno di quanto facevi una volta, ma andate a seguirla, ragazzi. Buonasera, benvenuti a tutti. Come state? Io live eccezionale questo mercoledì sera. Ciao Winchester. Live un po' eccezionale perché di solito è martedì e giovedì. Sì, ieri io non ho fatto niente perché ero troppo stanco. Quindi oggi recuperiamo la live di domani e domani in teoria se riesco andiamo ancora avanti, perché questo gioco non voglio farlo durare troppo tempo, troppe settimane, e anche perché non vorrei dimenticarmi le cose. Se passa troppo tempo ci dimentichiamo i dettagli, è pieno di nomi, quindi è un po' difficile da seguire da quel punto di vista. Non sto proprio più facendo live, però grazie, lo so, avevo visto. Rifalle. Mi confermate che i volumi sono a posto? Non dovrebbe essere cambiato nulla, però siamo arrivati dopo varie vicissitudini e un paio di capitoli che non sono andati proprio al meglio. Con Gable, no, si chiama il nostro personaggio? Caleb, no? Caleb. Abbiamo fatto un inizio scoppiettante a casa di Jason Moore. Ah, eccolo lì. Ma è andata a finire non benissimo e poi con MM ci siamo trovati all'interno della Chantry dei Tremere per assecondare più o meno i loro desideri e trovare un compromesso tra la regina, il principe anzi, e la chiesa, la cappella anzi dei Tremere. Tornati qui abbiamo fatto una scoperta la volta scorsa, terribile. Nei panni di Leisha, ciao Tarta, come stai? Benvenuta. Nei panni di Leisha abbiamo portato giù un sarcofago 2 volte fa e abbiamo salvato questa vampira, che non è l'infante del principe.
Lucky for me, that child of Malka messed up.
Esatto. Child of Malka. Sentire pochissimo perché siete in live, no? Con Simo.
I'd like to get my hands on whoever did this to me.
Credo che stasera steste giocando ad Alan Wake 2. E io non lo sto seguendo perché voglio giocarli tutti e due.
I'm available.
Ma io non ho sete. Allora, noi abbiamo un problema. Che ora dobbiamo scegliere se andare a parlare dal primo gen. Uno solo, no, tanti. Adesso abbiamo un dilemma. Vedete gli obiettivi? Prendere l'ascensore e andare da Caius Leto, che è il primo gen dei Nosferatu, che ha chiesto aiuto, chi ci ha chiesto aiuto, oppure andare a parlare con Beryl, il nostro infante, per dirgli di lasciar stare la nostra ghoul, la nostra protetta. Che figo sto posto. Perché, a quanto pare, si è avvicinata la nostra infante, la nostra ghoul, che non mi ricordo più come si chiama. Questo dopo The Council. Sì, The Council era già uscito. Non trovo il nome, vabbè. C'è la nostra ghoul. prediletta. Pensa a finire Blackwater, giusto? Ah, lì sto leggendo invece il primo dei 3 libri principali di Shirley Jackson. Lizzie si chiama. Non è male. La si apre. Io non so dove sto andando. Ah, ok, siamo dall'altra parte. Ok. Mi sta piacendo, sì. Sì, non è male. È il primo dei 3, nel senso che è stato scritto nel 54.
I could use an app.
Grande quel cofanetto, belli. Ho visto che anche Ali l'ha comprato il cofanetto. Quindi il bar, si esce di là e ho fatto il giro, ok.
Want a bite?
Io vorrei sapere cosa vuole Caius. Vediamo se lei sa dirci qualcosa.
Any news here?
Everyone is stressed out. I've never seen anything like it. They're all talking in hushed voices. They barely dare to look at each other.
People and their moods. I'm not interested in that.
I saw them take one of Jason Moore's bodyguards below. To question him, I imagine. That could be of interest to you. Say, how are things with the girl?
Excuse me.
It's Zhu Feng, right?
Zhu Feng si chiama.
She's not a girl.
Things going okay?
Del Fairy Tail di Stephen King. Quello poi dimmi com'è perché mi ispira. L'autoregalo consigliato da te quale dei tanti? Non mi ricordo più. Vediamo se lei ha saputo qualcosa.
The interest certain people have taken in her has given me cause for concern.
Maybe that's something you should talk about with the person in question. Do you think you'll embrace her soon?
As soon as possible, once the prince gives me permission.
Nella
You met
camariglia.
Fang at MIT, didn't you?
Nella camariglia non si può abbracciare senza... Ah, Elric, l'hai preso, grande! Grandissima! Fatto benissimo, stupendo.
I first discovered her by reading one of her articles.
What does she write?
She studies the blue economy.
To each his own. I don't even know what that means.
It's about hope. A hope of making up for centuries of exploitation.
Since when are you concerned about that?
Since I saw Beryl poison our kind.
Blood or money? I've never embraced anyone.
Ne so qualcosa, dice, tra fumetti e libri in sto periodo sto spendendo principalmente in fumetti e libri. Qualche videogioco ogni tanto in offerta, ma pochissimi, perché tanto non ho tempo di giocarci.
How come?
The story of my life and my unlife. I have no progeny, mortal or otherwise.
By choice?
Yes and no. When things weren't so strict, I could have asked, but I didn't have anyone in mind. Not like you and Fang. Now it's too late, as I've clearly been made to understand.
Serena, ciao, buonasera, benvenuta, come stai? Welcome. C'è un mod? Non ci sono mod al momento, aspettate. Shout out. Io che ho finito Little Good... Ah sì, ho visto che ne parlavi. Ragazzi, andate a seguire Serena che si è affacciata al mondo di Twitch da relativamente poco. Le diamo una mano con un po' di follow, se avete voglia. Troppo tardi come è stato chiaramente fatto capire. Sere, poi ho scritto alla Tatta per organizzare l'RPG Night. Tu sai.
Maybe you'll get another chance.
Oh, you mean that after the SI is done with us, our overpopulation problem will be solved?
I didn't mean it like that.
But still. Be that as it may, I hope the prince will allow you to do it.
I don't know.
I hope last night isn't weighing on you too heavily.
I'm all right.
The prince won't base her decision on just that. You've already proven your worth, Mr. Bazzori.
We'll see about that. I'd better be going.
See you.
Sì, credo per marzo, perché a febbraio c'è già la serata Just Dance, a quanto pare. Sto cercando di capire, magari mi sai aiutare anche tu, quanto sono sensibili in ufficio il rilevamento antincendio. Perché vorrei portare una cosa molto, molto bella, molto sperimentale, molto particolare, ma se suona l'allarme so cazzi. Allora, noi dobbiamo fare una scelta adesso, andare dal leader dei Nosferatu.
Alright. One more bite, and I'm done for the night.
L'ARP di vampiri tarta, e io con l'ARP non ce la faccio proprio. Detto ciò, andiamo a stabilire qual è il nostro territorio e facciamo il culo a... Sono scattati da cazzo di volte il quarto e pensiamo uguali su tutti i piani. Quindi 10 lumini accesi, lumicini quelli piccolini, quelli rotondi, secondo te? Perché vorrei far giocare a qualcuno in ufficio Ten Candles, che è un gioco bellissimo. Da parlare con Beryl nel suo appartamento. Quelli si riesce? Dai. Sarebbe figo perché Ten Candles è bellissimo, se no Alice is Missing, che però è un po' più emotivamente potente e bisogna essere nella serata giusta. Allora, io me ne fregherei della politica. Oddio, però magari aiutare il Nosferatu potrebbe aiutare la Camarilla, quindi non arriva la seconda inquisizione e non ci ammazzano tutti. Che fare, che fare. Uff. Il fatto che di Leto non sappiamo niente, non sappiamo cosa vuole da noi. I lumini devono accendersi uno alla volta e poi pian piano si spengono. Ah no, e poi ci sarà qualche vampata ogni tanto perché i giocatori devono bruciare un pezzo di carta e mettere in un posacenere in mezzo. Quindi quello potrebbe essere un po' più forte. E va giocato al buio sto gioco, solo con quelle luci lì. Quindi... però è un gioco bellissimo. Allora... vampiro passionale o vampiro... Vai, facciamo vampiro passionale. Andiamo da Beryl nel suo appartamento e gli facciamo il culo. Lui deve stare lontano dalla nostra protetta.
There's no point in hanging around here bothering me. It's gonna take me a while.
Dove
Very
sarà
well, Mr.
l'appartamento di
Sheriff.
Beryl però?
Please excuse me.
Non qui. Vediamo se qui è aperto. È aperto. Ma Alice c'è.
Caleb,
April, scusate.
you don't come here often. Sorry, things are a little hectic here. As you can see.
What's going on?
Ok.
Code Red. We're
Dai,
destroying
grande.
all of our files. Following protocol.
You're
Sta
destroying
distruggendo
all our
tutto?
files?
No, not everything. Obviously. Some information needs to be saved. The rest will be a treasure trove for anyone who wants to harm us. That's what's got to disappear. It's a huge undertaking. And of course, Hazel's putting major pressure on me. She's normally a little high-strung, but you can imagine how much worse it's become.
It's her
Facciamo-
job. She's trying to keep us from going down with the ship, no matter the cost.
I agree. And you know how much I love Hazel. But it's starting to get hard to manage. My efficiency might be the stuff of legend, but even I make mistakes. How about you? Is everything all right?
After last night, who could say that?
I mean, you know, your condition.
My condition?
Cosa?
You know, you're the eldest among us now.
Perché ora? Ora il più anziano tra noi. Chi è che è sparito, scusate? No, sicuro. Noi 10ª, 12ª. April 12ª. Beryl? No, perché è mio figlio. No, è Dajan? È di nona. Però un Tremir non è detto che faccia parte del gruppo. 10ª anche Deneb, che è un altro Tremir. Anche il principe è di 10ª. Però effettivamente noi siamo stati abbracciati nel 745.
Are you worried about me, or the void I'll leave behind?
You're an essential asset for the Camarilla. You disappearing now would be one of the worst possible things that can happen to us.
It's true that reliability is a virtue in decline.
Don't leave us. That's all. For Hazel's sake.
I've got my own reasons to stay.
I was wondering, what is it like? Do you hear voices?
Ah,
Does it come at you all at once?
pensano che Galeb stia sentendo il richiamo.
It's more like a feeling. A light one at first. Then it grows, and grows, till it becomes unbearable.
It doesn't look so unbearable for you.
I'm hanging on,
Ma
but you shouldn't worry about it. You're still very young.
Listen to us. Talking about growing old, like mortals do.
aumenta il 50% la possibilità di successo al prossimo pareggio difensivo con abilità. Non ci interessa.
What's wrong?
Questo
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's just the Second Inquisition attack. You're the only person here who doesn't seem fazed by it. London seems so far away. Now they're here. They're destroying the people we know. I really need to get back to work.
Good luck.
Quindi lei era a Londra quando è stata distrutta? Quando è caduta? Allora, troveremo l'appartamento di Beryl. Dovrebbe essere da questa parte. Gli appartamenti... No, ho fatto il giro. Ma dove cacchio è? Di sopra. Allora... Dice il principe. Una mappa... Oh sì, sono qui gli appartamenti se non sbaglio. Questo è quello del dottore Richard Dunham, giustamente. La la la. Qui c'è Dajan. No, Hilda McAndrew. Beryl.
Caleb, by all means, make yourself right at home.
T'ammazzo.
You? Here? How extraordinarily rare. To what do I owe the honor?
Enough, Beryl. Did you speak with Feng?
I'm not one to keep an eye on the comings and goings of your retainers.
Did you speak to her?
So much fuss about nothing.
A muso duro? Sì.
You'd better confess. Are you threatening me? That's beneath you.
You're not an authority on dignity.
I ran into her recently, it's true, but we hardly said a word to one another.
Haha.
I will not accept your explanation. I thought I had made myself clear about her.
Unlike you, I don't try to control the lives of those around me. Feng still enjoys a certain degree of freedom, doesn't she, to choose whom she sees?
We ran into each other by accident, and we didn't speak for long.
Ok. Cazzo. Così in teoria dovremmo avere 50% in più di possibilità. Affanculo.
I know you all too well, Beryl. Strings being pulled from the shadows is your trademark. You sought her out. You're trying to get something from her.
It's been a long time since you lost the right to pretend to understand me.
And for what it's worth, you're completely off the mark.
I really don't see the harm in it.
It's not your business to understand.
Cazzo.
I'd really like to, though. I just wanted to give her some advice. To help guide her through this brave, dangerous new world. When it comes to that, I don't think you're doing enough. Am I mistaken?
La vuole abbracciare al nostro posto. Madonna, questo costa tanto.
You needn't worry. She's been introduced to everyone. I don't intend to leave her defenseless among the drooling predators skulking in the corners. And she might just surprise you.
I'm sure she will.
She's worth far more than your estimations.
No, diglielo.
Is she worth more than me?
Sì.
Are you sure you want an answer to that?
All right, all right. I never
grande.
took you for the fatherly sort. But I guess anyone at any age is vulnerable to the winds of change. Your concern for Feng is to your credit. It really is. However, I can't help making comparisons with my own past experiences.
You shouldn't.
It was long ago, I admit. But I'm still your only child.
You're jealous.
I'm not jealous. Although I do regret the unfortunate turn our relationship has taken.
Abbiamo oggetti da consumare? Sì. Ok.
I'm worried about Feng, honestly. You would worry too if you were in my shoes. I just want to make sure she doesn't go through the same thing I did. The crushing weight of disappointment. The distance. The disdain.
If it's pity you're after, that just goes to prove you never really
Se
knew
sei uno
me at all.
stronzo.
Don't try to compare yourself to Fang. It won't be to your advantage. She's humble and wants to make the world a better place.
You think my feet leave no prints in this world?
The tracks you leave lead only back to you. Unlike hers, you defile.
È scritto bene sto gioco, i dialoghi sono molto
You
belli.
belong to the past, Beryl. You're finished. Fang is the future of the Camarilla. She's not like you, and she never will be.
Ah, such eloquence, which never ceases to surprise me. You've always wielded words with such deadly skill. But there is one small detail it seems you have forgotten. You won't be there for her much longer.
What?
Think about it. You're the oldest person in this city now. It gnaws at you like it does all the elders. You can feel it inside you, and it will grow and grow until you finally give in. How long do you think it will be before you leave too?
Ma perché? Non possiamo aumentare più di così. Ragazzi, ho avuto un déjà vu pazzesco. Déjà vu incredibile.
You feel the beckoning too. You're not much younger than I am, but you're far weaker. I'll be able to resist as long as it takes to finish my work here. But will you?
I don't know.
That's the difference between you and I. I don't doubt. I will stay.
If I understand you right, and I think I do, we're of the same mind. With a few minor differences.
Is that so?
We both want what's best for Fang.
Ma cosa vuoi tu? Ma che
So then
cazzo?
why can't I see her?
E il déjà vu era che ero in sto menu qui e poi mi ritrovavo a giocare a sto gioco, ma io non potevo saperlo. Cioè, la mia mente, è la prima volta che ci gioco a sto gioco, non può essere una roba, un ricordo. Ed ero in live e andavo a girare adesso, però nella stanza circolare che c'è usciti da questo posto, da questa stanza, e arrivava un raid mentre ero lì fuori. Perché potrei perdere la pazienza. Glielo spaniamo così diretto, via. Oh. Ho finito i
It's
punti
quite
volontà.
simple. Either you do what I say, or I'll take more radical measures.
There's no need for that. I'm sure we can find common ground.
Non penso proprio.
You don't come near Fang again, and I won't tear you limb from limb.
I was thinking of something a little more...
It's not negotiable.
I see.
Oh.
I'll have to settle for that.
You'd better.
I just wanted to make sure she knew what she was doing here. I didn't think you'd react like this.
You didn't think I'd find out.
Don't turn this into a witch trial. If I've acted badly, it was with good intentions.
Certo.
But I've heard your message loud and clear. I'll bear it in mind.
Just keep your distance, and everything will be fine.
Yes, you've made yourself very clear.
One more thing.
A little bird
Ah,
told
già.
me about your operations in South America.
My dear sire, for someone I thought had no interest in business, you're remarkably well informed.
Nothing can stay hidden from the court forever.
Where's the harm in it?
Your actions have consequences for the Camarilla that you haven't considered. You could endanger the Masquerade. Don't you think you should speak to the prince about it?
I don't see how my personal business concerns her. She's already having enough trouble getting us out of this mess she's dragged us into.
You hold her responsible for this?
She's in charge, isn't she? She hosted the party. It's only natural to hold her accountable, isn't it?
If the court were to hear what you just said...
Ha! Do you really think I'm the only one who thinks this?
You'd best be going.
I wasn't planning on staying. Be sure of that.
It's been a pleasure. Please excuse me if I don't see you out.
Madonna, ma è il nostro, sai, il nostro infante. Dovremmo avere potere su di lui proprio così. Abbassa la cresta.
I hope he understood this time. He won't get another warning.
Allora, vediamo, il raid arrivava quando eravamo qua, tipo. A girare in questa parte.
Caius again. They locked it down. Too late to go see him. Hazel is probably ready to see me now. I won't make her wait.
Nel déjà vu che ho avuto mentre eravamo in questa stanza qui, arrivava un raid, ma arrivava un raid da un mio contatto, amico, che non streama in realtà, quindi in teoria non è possibile che arrivi.
The soldier is on furlough.
Not for long, I'm afraid. The prince will undoubtedly have some new task for me.
At least she trusts you. She hardly speaks to her primogen. Even Beryl is in the dark.
He's not used to that. It'll be good for him.
Are you still not talking?
You could say that.
Any regrets?
I don't see why I
A lei
would have
sembra
any
quasi buona.
regrets.
That's no surprise. Personally, I find that giving a child so much power is dangerous. The problem is that you have to watch them all the time. Otherwise, they end up making a mess of things.
You might be right. Beryl didn't wait long before revealing his true nature. There's no denying that I'm at least partly to blame for the situation.
Indeed. I would have done something about it, and he would have begged me for forgiveness. Do you really think you'll have time to embrace Fang?
What do you mean?
Well, with all the elders gone, who knows who'll be next?
That's not something I'm willing to discuss with you.
Suit yourself.
No, excuse me, I have to go.
Of course.
Cioè lei sembra buona nel senso che veramente pensa che il rapporto tra Sire e Infante sia importante, però in maniera morbosa. E niente Ride.
There's no point in insisting.
The prince didn't ask you for
Non
your
è, ma'am.
opinion.
Hazel can't just ignore me and then call me in like this. Now get out of here before I make your blood boil.
Mr. Siaka, you're taking a big risk.
Goodbye.
E questa chi è?
Asshole.
Ah,
What a nightmare. It's chaos here.
Keltum Hamdam. E chi cazzo è questa? Andiamo a parlare con lui. No, ma è tutto super lussuoso sto posto, sono tutti mega vampiri, mega ricchi.
Now she's sending you.
Run into some trouble with the prince?
That's a question to ask Hazel. She's the one who doesn't know what she wants.
Did she ask you to do something?
She summoned me like a servant. I know she doesn't trust me, even though I don't understand why.
Ma
She's gone all paranoid Ice Queen, and there's no way I'm gonna let it cost me my head. I don't know how you still put up with her.
You owe your place in the Primogen to her.
What, you think I don't know that? I've always done my best to keep her from screwing things up. But when she reached out to Hartford...
qual è il problema?
Is there a problem with Hartford?
I told Hazel we can't trust them.
Do you have any evidence to support what you're suggesting?
She doesn't know Deneb the way I do. She wouldn't listen to my warnings.
Her plan was bold.
Risky is a better adjective. After what happened last night, I'm not sure you realize just how deep the shit we are in goes.
And I suppose you have the solution?
Maybe. Not that I'm happy about it. There's interesting stuff going on in other places. Boston's not the center of the universe.
We don't know who can be trusted. This is no time to leave. If the prince has kept you in the dark, she must have had a good reason for it. Just look at what happened.
Open your eyes, Caleb! The Boston Camarilla is crumbling before our eyes! What are the odds we survive?
Hazel has
Fidiamoci.
things under control. We'll get through this.
I have a hard time believing that. We have to prepare for the worst.
This kind of talk is beneath you.
You know what it's like! To feel called to be elsewhere.
That has nothing to do with this. Salem isn't elsewhere. You won't be any safer there.
It's just a starting point.
Vuole
We
andarsene?
thaumaturgs will find a way to deal with it.
I see that you've planned for everything.
I've already lost too much time. You shouldn't waste your time either.
If you leave, Hazel will catch up with you.
What do you mean?
You know, she doesn't like people who have been disloyal, especially now.
Hazel doesn't need new enemies. She should be wary.
Be careful.
Goodbye, Caleb.
Minchia.
I hope we make it.
No, buono. E sto... Ah, siamo sopra... Che ficata. Bel posto. Perché qui non si può entrare?
Sorry, Mr. Bazori. Miss Drory's quarters are off limits.
What's going on here?
Mr. Leto's orders. We've got to clean up.
Ah, certo, questa era Yara. Andiamo a parlare col principe? No, prima volevo parlare con la mia protetta e vedere se c'era qualcos'altro che potevo dirle per metterla a riparo dallo stronzo. Non di qua. Allora, dove sei? Qua.
All right. One more bite, and I'm done for the night.
Back already?
Oh.
I saw a barrel. I hope I've managed to clarify the situation once and for all. As for you, don't go near him again.
All right. I understand, I assure you.
I prefer to be prudent when it comes to him. He's dangerous.
Duly noted. I'll be careful.
Well then, I have to go see the prince. Wait for me.
Oh.
Oh, ma... Ti dai una calmata o devo usare Domination come se non ci fosse un domani? No, voglio sempre. Noi siamo arrivati da qui. Il principe è... Aiuto. Di sopra. Sì.
I've seen princes come and go.
Non è il principe.
In the end, it always comes down to a struggle for power between the prince and their primogen.
Chi è questo?
Hazel is
Ah,
strong.
Victoria
She
Ash.
last much longer.
Victoria.
Caleb, I was wondering when I'd run into you.
Victoria, what a surprise. I didn't know you had decided to walk among us.
I'm always where you'd least expect me. It feels like I've been away for ages. Boston has changed so much. The only thing that hasn't changed is your steadfast presence at court.
Is that a problem?
You know it's not. I'm just surprised, that's all.
Come grida.
There's a whole world outside this city, you know?
I've had my fill of adventure. I'm not interested in that anymore.
You're so boring. The world has changed so much since you last ventured out, Caleb. Then again, it's almost reassuring to find you unchanged. Iverson is lucky she can count on your loyalty. You're a valuable resource, Caleb. Especially in times like these.
I'm only doing my duty.
Ever the cheerful one.
c'è Victoria qui tra i personaggi? E lei di ottava. Lei è la più potente.
So many elders are gone, and yet here you are. How is it possible?
Because I want to. That's all. I enjoy my existence. Why give it up?
Grande
But you
Vittoria.
must also feel that force. The insistent calling, night after night.
Yes, but unlike so many others, I have a reason to resist. Don't you?
I still have some ties that keep me here. I won't leave without having one more child.
You're sure taking your time.
I'm waiting for the prince's blessing. It shouldn't be long now. Fang will be embraced soon.
Fang! Oh yes, I see. She seems charming, spirited even. You have a knack for finding true gems. I remember your sire, Jean-Baptiste Tavernier, if I'm not mistaken.
Chi cacchio era?
You are correct.
I didn't see him at court. I remember he was very popular back in the day.
He left with all the others.
Oh.
Difenderci da cosa in realtà?
I know the two of you were very close. His absence must have left quite the void.
The first few years were hard. I had a lot of respect for the man. His departure was like a betrayal to me. He left me alone, in charge of a city without a prince, surrounded by neonates. It was unfair.
Perché non è
I
diventato lui
understand.
principe?
You deserve better than that.
Not just me. The whole court fell apart when the Anceli disappeared one by one. Building it back up was an ordeal.
But you did it, and you should be proud of what you've accomplished.
Pride is for the ambitious. I'm just doing my duty.
As always.
You seem to have met Feng.
We had the chance to talk last night. She was pacing the floor while you were gone.
I told her to keep quiet.
And she did. She's a smart, young woman of great consequence. You shouldn't treat her like a child.
Io mi sto confidando un po' troppo con Victoria,
full of predators. Feng is easy prey in the eyes of many.
She's more resourceful than you think.
Not against kindred this old.
Ugh. Oh, Caleb, please. Is it her pretty face that's got you acting like a knight in shining armor?
I'm just trying to protect her.
That's what I'm saying. I've had my share of protective followers too. Men who thought they could use their power to protect my delicate nature. I've survived longer than them all.
I'm not overprotective of her, if that's what you mean.
That's not the impression you give off. I hope you're able to find a balance, or you'll both suffer.
I hadn't heard you were coming to Boston.
Indeed. I wouldn't be stuck in this tower if I hadn't gotten wind of your arrangement with Hartford.
Well, isn't that a shame?
It's not been a complete waste. I met your prince, and I got to see a few old friends. I just hope it's not at the cost of my unlife.
Ma va.
You don't seem to be hurt. I take it you weren't at the party last night.
Heavens no. I was in your prince's personal suite. We hadn't even left yet when the Code Red was initiated.
Good timing.
Good timing indeed. When I think that the Second Inquisition's butchers were lying in wait, I'd shiver. If I could.
My obligations to Hazel kept me away from the court last night. Did I miss anything important?
No, nothing much. I ran into Burrell. He was with your charming little protege.
I don't like the sound of that. Did you hear their conversation?
That would have been very impolite of me.
Cazzo, non abbiamo niente per potenziarci. Non abbiamo altro. Sangue, aumenta il grado di tecnologia, non ci interessa. Non possiamo sentire cosa si sono detti. Ah, si può scegliere, ho sbagliato.
You've met Beryl. You and I both know he's as slippery as an eel. But Fang hasn't experienced it yet.
You hold your firstborn in particular esteem.
Beryl is who he is. And I'd like to keep Fang far away from his poison. So I'll ask you again. Did you hear their conversation?
No, Caleb, I didn't hear anything. Do you want to hear me say it a third time?
That won't be necessary.
Finally!
Lei, Tarta,
Good evening.
Goodbye, Caleb.
è un personaggio ufficiale di Vampire the Masquerade. Adesso ci ha dato uno. E appare in LA by Night. La doppiatrice di questo gioco è l'attrice che la ruola in LA by Night. Siamo tornati qua. Ritorniamo là. Qui non c'è nessun tipo di potere usato da... Ecco perché non ci arrivavo. Dal secondo piano. E c'è solo lei. Ok. Prego. Che installazione poco pretenziosa.
The prince is ready to see you now.
Great.
Ciao Fabio. Benvenuto, buonasera. Ma so cazzi.
Caleb,
My prince.
we were expecting you.
How may I be of service to you this time?
One thing at a time. The situation has changed. The money is gone. The accounts have been emptied.
What?
Appunto.
That's impossible.
Only Jason Moore could have transferred the money. The situation is dire.
Moore would never have done it on his own. He would never have dared.
I agree. It's much too bold a move for him. And that's what concerns me the most. Someone used him to attack us. Someone who was extremely well prepared.
Tranqui Fabio. Grazie mille. Allora, Beryl ha avuto a che fare con Jason Moore, lo sappiamo. Denunciamolo intanto.
I spoke with Beryl. He's up to something.
The problem with your child is that he's always up to something. How am I supposed to know if it's not in my best interest?
We must keep an eye on him.
You're not telling me everything, Caleb. I'm your prince. You know you can trust me.
Su cosa?
I don't understand him anymore. I forbade him from seeing Zhu Fang, but he disobeyed. It's all one big, twisted game for him.
That's a strictly personal matter.
Infatti,
Who knows what he's really hiding?
Of course, like all the others. It's impossible to have anyone you can trust in this court, even in the middle of the worst crisis we've ever faced.
Non ho punti.
Failure is a luxury we will soon be unable to afford. If you have nothing more to say, we can move on to the reason I sent for you.
What did you think about Richard Dunham's file?
Money that should be going to me seems to go missing whenever he touches it. Richard is far too important to me. I can't afford to upset him now. But if his research doesn't pay off soon, I won't hesitate to show him my disappointment.
Fallo.
Did you read Jorodori's file?
I wish I'd never seen it.
There's too much I despise in it.
She never mentioned she was monitoring the Primogen's finances. Or this, Catapotis. What on earth is it?
I've got no idea.
It doesn't add up. It seemed important to her.
But she's not here to shed any light on it.
Sparita.
I'm listening.
I've asked for your presence here because I have a new mission for you. Delsin was able to track down the men who attacked us.
It wasn't easy, but it was impossible for them to disappear without leaving a trace after what they did yesterday.
Where are they hiding?
Long Island.
Yes, of course. An abandoned facility just off the coast. An old fort. It's the ideal place for a secret base.
And certainly much more. Who knows what they're up to out there?
How is it we didn't notice a thing?
They have abundant resources, and we're short on eyes.
It doesn't matter. We'll find the people responsible for the situation later. Our most pressing issue is preventing them from striking us again.
How?
You're going to go there and kill their leader.
Ci sta. Ma come? Da solo? Sentiamo perché scelgo noi.
Sending me there. That seems to be a rather bold choice.
I don't see anyone better for the job.
Infiltration isn't really my specialty.
You'll be dealing with Kine. You'll be a fox in a henhouse. I'm not worried about you. And Delsin knows how to get you in.
Oh, that changes everything.
They evacuated the bodies from the site of the party, which is how we were able to pick up their trail.
There's a small, nondescript warehouse at Jeffrey's Point. As far as we can tell, their transfers from Boston to Long Island are made by boat. To avoid drawing attention to themselves, they've chosen to employ only small craft. There are bodies packed in the warehouse waiting to be shipped over. Do you get the picture?
Cazzo.
You want me to disguise myself as a body to be evacuated?
Exactly. All you have to do is stop simulating your vital functions for a few hours.
It's risky.
It's risky, but it's now or never. We might never get another opportunity. We have to try.
The last transfer is probably going to take place tonight. After that, there's no way of knowing when we'll get another chance.
I need to know the details.
Let us worry about getting you into the warehouse. We've made all the preparations. You won't have to worry about a thing until you get to Long Island.
We know where they are. Why go through their warehouse?
Charging into Long Island blind would be far too risky.
And with a traitor in our midst, I'd rather keep this to a small circle of trusted people, to avoid any other unpleasant surprises.
Ma se fosse un complotto per liberarsi di noi, visto che siamo il più anziano qua, e lei è la nostra stessa età, la stessa generazione.
And after that?
Once you're on the island, you'll be in uncharted territory. You'll be on your own.
Who is my target?
Walter Stanford.
He's the head of the Boston Task Force. He's part of what they call the Society of Leopold.
Someone else will take his place.
No need for you to worry about that for the time being. Your mission is to eliminate Stanford, and that's all.
What do we know about this Stanford?
Not much. They're very careful. He was sent from the Vatican, and he brought other fanatics with him.
Avremmo potuto vedere con lei.
He's here. It means that Rome has faith in him, and that can't be good for us.
Credo.
He's got to be taken out.
What's the Vatican getting out of all this?
Your guess is as good as mine. But it seems that the kind are trying to get a better understanding of us in order to hunt us more effectively. These priests have been our enemies for ages. They have knowledge.
Putting an end to them is crucial. We must keep our enemies from unifying their strength.
I don't wish to be the bearer of ill tidings, but what if I fail? Do you have a backup plan?
Caleb, you won't fail. You're our only hope. We place all our trust in you to complete this essential mission.
There's no room for error, Bazori.
Tranquillo.
Aren't you worried someone will tip off the SI? There's still a traitor among us.
The traitors, my department. You need to strike quickly, and don't let anyone know of your plans. We can't take the slightest risk.
All right. I've heard enough.
Very well. Then you should get going. We've already lost enough time.
Very well. My prince.
Ma su Feng lo diciamo? Ah no, non possiamo neanche più muoverci. No, cazzarola! Avrei potuto interrogare la guardia del corpo di Moore. Porca vacca, me l'hanno anche detto dov'era. Non ci ho pensato. A parte che non so dove è la stanza degli interrogatori. Cazzo. Grande. Allora, un punto in saggezza per forza. Discipline. Psicometria abbiamo detto di no. No, sapete cosa? Spendo tutto in stats. Anzi, in skills. Mi faccio tornare in vita, ok. A 15? Op. Perché il terzo pallino qui costa 15 e qui 25? Allora, fisico c'è intimidire, lo lasciamo così. Sociale aumenta retorica e convincere. Mentale, psicologia. Adesso, ma mi sa che è procedurale. Praticamente 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 abilità si usano in dialogo e le altre di esplorazione. Ma questi non possono essere focalizzati, quindi ce l'hai o non ce li hai, questi possono essere focalizzati. Con 85 alziamo delle discipline, se ci bastano. Mi sa io. Psicometria, ma più che altro per arrivare. È ancora 60 disponibile. Beh, aumentiamo. Convincere. E retorica. È pur sempre una torre d'oro. Adesso dobbiamo andare dal principe a riferire il fatto che abbiamo fallito la missione. Ma che abbiamo fatto delle promesse di Tremere. Ah, subito qua.
I'm guessing you tipped Bazori off to the traitor?
Yes.
Any news?
Nothing since Richard's report. My city is in danger. Everything I've built, all the dreams I've invested. That Judas is a threat to everything.
Not for long. You'll bounce back.
Yes. Congratulations on your negotiations with the Chantry. Our agreement with Hartford is crucial.
I'm happy to hear you're satisfied, but why am I here? Flattery is not your strong suit.
Wouldn't you agree?
No, you're right. I have a new favor to ask of you.
What a surprise.
About what I told you earlier concerning Delson and Long Island. I've got a plan.
Oh, I know that look. Hazel.
This is the best moment to strike.
That sounds like the definition of rushing into things.
Yes, but we have no choice. Delson?
We need to blind them. From the inside. They know too much about it. We have to change that. For that, we need someone to hit them with a surprise attack from within their compound.
I wish that person luck.
It's you.
That's way out of my league.
Hazel's not asking for your opinion. You proved you were reliable with Hartford. We need your skill sets for such a risky and vital task.
That's precisely what's got me on edge.
It's your chance to prove to the court once and for all that you deserve a place on the council.
Cioè, deve andare a fare action girl.
After this, you'll be untouchable.
I sure hope so. All right. How do I get on this island? By boat?
Okay. I doubt it. Coastline's under surveillance.
So I swim across. All right. What then?
Kaya's wrote a program that can help us. If you can upload it into their system, it'll corrupt all the data they've got in their database.
Okay.
Their systems, the archives, it'll all be lost.
Allowing us to cover our tracks.
It's our best shot at making it through this. You'll just have to insert it into a computer that's on their network. That's absolutely essential. Any questions?
Your plan sounds pretty old school. There's no way to do that remotely?
We've tried, but Leto's agents weren't able to breach their security. Their network's too highly protected. That's why we need you.
I see.
Chissà se avessimo aiutato Caius con Galeb, se saremmo riusciti a caricare quella roba remotely.
Am I allowed to take a partner? I'd feel a lot better about this if I had someone covering my back.
I understand, but that's not possible. We're already taking a risk by sending a person in to infiltrate their hideout.
Got it. So, let me get this straight. You want me to infiltrate the enemy base alone? The same enemies who just slaughtered half the camp.
Quit whining. You can have help.
Oh, really?
Che tipo?
Your task will not be easy. You'll need a diversion while you sabotage their system. A raid near their base, for example.
That could work. Who will you send?
I refuse to sacrifice any more of our people. So we might as well send in the riffraff. The Anarchs could do the job.
Oof.
Come again?
You heard me. I want you to go see them and convince them to go with you to Long Island.
You're trying to thin their herd.
I'm balancing the scales, that's all.
They can't stand us. They'll never agree to fight for us. Let alone on their own without us.
They don't have to know they'll be alone. Lead them to believe our forces will join up with them. The SI is a threat to the entire city. They're just as concerned as we are.
Cazzarola.
Send someone else to negotiate. A real emissary.
No one else knows the Anarchs as well as you do. They go to your clubs, don't they? They know who you are. They know they can trust you.
I barely know them. I see a couple of them once in a while, but that's it. We're not exactly friends.
You're still in the best position to negotiate with them.
Yeah. I'm not comfortable with the idea of sending them to be slaughtered. It's despicable.
It's just politics. And it's probably your only chance to come back in one piece.
What if I refuse?
I won't let you. Your conscience is of no concern to me. The only thing that matters is our survival. And too bad if it keeps you up at night.
The true face of the Camarilla. Right then. Let's say I agree.
You don't have a choice, but I'll humor you.
How am I supposed to go about it? I can't just go chasing down every Anarch I know to ask for their help.
There's only one anarch that counts.
Ovviamente, il
Their
barone.
baron.
Randall Thane?
That's right. He's in charge of the various anarch gangs in the region. I don't know where he is right now. You'll need to use your network.
I've got an idea of who I can ask. What can I use as leverage if they try to negotiate?
Money, favors. Offer them whatever seems useful.
Ancora.
All right.
One more thing. Don't tell anyone about your task. Not even your sire. I don't want the council poking their noses into this. That will be all. I'm counting on you, MM. Be careful, and good luck.
I'm gonna need it.
Lo diciamo o non lo diciamo? Alla nostra Sire che stravede per noi, che potrebbe venire in nostro soccorso.
There you are.
Eccola qua, appunto.
I'm sorry I wasn't here to meet you when you got back.
Bastardi,
I
te
was
la mettono
busy.
qui davanti.
Everyone's got their priorities, I guess. It's not like I've been waiting for hours.
Oh, please. You're always asking for more space. You're going to complain about me giving you space now?
I'm sorry, I hoped for a little bit of support from you.
You haven't asked for any since you threw me out of your life.
Excuse me? What are you talking about? We never...
Broke up? It's been 30 years, Amem.
What? I don't remember.
Come on. I get the feeling we need to clear up a few things.
Yeah.
Non si ricorda?
Come on. Tell me what's going on.
The Warlocks. I knew their library would leave a mark. They fucked with
Ah,
my
se l'hai
head.
dimenticato, giusto?
So, if I understand right, you have no memory of our breakup.
None whatsoever. I really thought that I mean, you know.
There's a reason the Warlocks have a bad reputation.
And you said it's been 30 years?
More or less.
That seems like forever. And then again, the blink of an eye for us.
Believe me, it's been a long 30 years.
When I was there, with the Tremere, I saw things, glimpses of the past. It was like I was reliving certain episodes of my past. I guess that's what Osborne meant when he told me about the memories.
What exactly did you see?
I saw my attack with the Knights. I need to know. What happened after that? Did they pay for what they did to me?
It's a long story, Mem. And it's not really a happy one.
That's all the more reason. I want to know what happened. It's my memory, not some game.
Exactly. I don't want to see you suffer again. I won't allow it.
But it's not your choice. It's not you we're talking about, it's me. I can't just sit here not knowing.
I won't tell you a thing.
Hilda, please.
I said no. There's no point in insisting.
Fine. Whatever you want.
Quindi lei è rimasta prigioniera per... L'aggressione l'abbiamo vista. Quindi non erano ricordi immediati, erano ricordi del passato.
That's all.
I'm sorry you had to go through that again. I can't imagine how upsetting it must have been.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that with me.
Non posso fare altro.
I'm sorry, I've gotta go. I need to take some time to process all of this. The prince is sending me out on another task. I can't screw up.
What kind of task?
I'm sorry, but I can't talk about it. Hazel made that exceedingly clear. If she thinks things are better like that, I believe her.
For God's sake, Amem, I'm your sire. You should
Okay.
trust me, not that snake in the grass.
Personally, I've never had anything bad to say about Hazel.
Unlike me. Is that it? You'd be singing a different tune if you knew what I know.
Dimmelo.
If I knew what?
Nothing. You wouldn't believe me anyways.
Fine. I'll just make your life miserable until you spill the beans.
Seriously?
You know how stubborn I can be when I want something.
Hazel's a smart woman. She knows what she needs to do to get what she wants. And she wants you.
That's going too far.
You think it's an honor, but you should really be worried. Hazel never does anything she's not sure she'll benefit from, which means she's got ways to make you bend to her will. She's careful to hide her secrets from you, safe behind her herald. Tonight could be your last chance to discover them. Very well, let's move on. You're right. You should go get some rest, and do think over what we've discussed. Promise me you'll be careful.
I'll try.
Ok. Lascia la corte e continua a esplorare il luogo prima di andartene. April. Ah. Andiamo da April. Qui non c'è nessuno. Perché non mi parla? Ok. L'appartamento di April. Il Richard Barrel. Jared Dajan. Andiamo da Victoria.
The arena. Hilda's favorite playground. I don't know if I'd manage as well as she does.
There you are. I heard about your little trip to see the Warlocks. Sounds like you're starting to get the hang of the machinations of the court. Unfortunately, you'll need more than diplomacy to survive the SI.
So you know about it?
The whole court does. Backstage, people are checking their scripts. There are some who are already thinking of running away.
Everyone's heard about London. I get why they're scared. Nobody expected to see hunters on the coast.
And for good reason. You seem to be taking every precaution. But now that they're here, we'll have to do something. Or leave. I made my choice when they hit London. Now it's your
Lei
turn.
è l'inglese?
You'll need to be careful, darling. And surround yourself with associates you can trust.
That's a rare commodity around here.
You've got your sire. Hilda was furious after you left for the library. She really seemed worried about you.
As always. But I survived.
You did. Actually, when you were there, did you run into my emissary? I still haven't heard anything.
Il suo emissario?
I found your associate. Or what was left of him. The Warlocks did him in long before the Code Red.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Why?
He probably disappointed them. It doesn't take much to piss them off.
Osborn will pay for what he did.
Qual era?
Your emissary had stolen something. Some sort of alchemical formula. It appears they were trying to preserve the properties of the blood. The report will be of more use to you than it is to me.
Oh, Crawford. Thank you. We've been turning in circles for years. We're way behind. This paper will accelerate our research.
I've told you everything I know.
And it's precious.
Dammi qualcosa in
The
cambio.
question now is whether this paper is worth the unlife that the Warlocks stole.
What if it's not?
then Osborne will get no rest. But it's not your problem anymore. You've done enough already. This work on the properties of blood, even if it's minor, is extremely valuable. Our cities are teeming with kindred and our enemies are legion. If we don't learn how to control our blood supply, our species will inevitably decline.
That explains why these agreements were so important to Hazel.
She wants to hold the key to our survival. Think of the power she would have if she could do it. But she's not the only one in the race anymore. Thanks to you. Thanks, MM.
What?
If I can do anything to repay you, let me know.
Sì.
I always wondered how a city like London could fall. A kindred stronghold? That old?
Wiped out in just a few nights.
What was it like? Do you remember the attack?
It's not a very pleasant memory.
No, è troppo. Cazzo. Anche con lei abbiamo oggetti. 5 punti volontà. Però no.
I get it. Sorry.
Perché qui c'è un'altra cosa che vorrei usare. 4-2, successo al 90%. Proviamo a capire.
You've been around Miss Iverson for a few nights now.
I've had that honor, it's true.
She's not the first prince you've associated with. You're used to dealing with people in powerful positions. So, what do you think of her?
I admire her strength and her ambition.
But?
She's been too lax with her court. Otherwise, we wouldn't be in this mess. I wonder if she'll learn anything from this ordeal. If she survives it.
That's harsh. But at least you're honest.
Always with you.
Scusate un secondo. Scusate, eh. Allora.
Did I miss anything last night?
Not really. Things were pretty calm until Dr. Dunham came back. Things got a little tense when the topic of the Second Inquisition came up.
I can imagine the shockwave.
We're at the court. People try to save face. But I saw a few masks start to dissolve. The next few hours are going to be decisive.
This is gonna sound weird, but have you ever heard of memory magic?
No, never heard of it. Where'd you hear about that?
My visit to the Warlocks. I don't know what they did, but they got inside my head.
The Tremere are brilliant, but dangerous. Iverson should never have sent you there alone.
I learned my lesson. Hazel wants to send me back out there tonight. She's trying to get help from the Anarchs.
Well, aren't we the elite soldier to send behind enemy lines?
I'd appreciate any advice you could give me. I've spent a lot of time with the Anarchs, but never in a situation like this.
I imagine that'll depend on what your prince wants to negotiate. If you hang around with them, then you know they're proud. Stubborn.
So you think there's no hope?
Everyone has their weakness. You just need to find the right button to push.
Chiediamola questo.
What would you do?
I don't know, darling. Depends on who I'd be talking to. Some folks respond better to smiles. Others need threats to make them bend. You'll need to adapt. You should expect some resistance from them. Some will likely try to put you on your heels or even lie to you outright. Don't let yourself be fooled by them.
I'll try not to forget it. Thanks, Victoria.
It's my pleasure.
I've gotta go. It's gonna be a long night. No matter what happens tonight. I'm happy I got to see you again.
Why does that sound like goodbye? A mem?
It's gonna be fine. See you later.
Be careful.
Vediamo se possiamo dire le altre cose.
Can I help you?
No.
I'll see you later.
I hope so.
Andiamo ad April. Con l'ascensore.
Do you think we have time to just laze around?
I'd better hurry.
Vediamo un attimo. Ma lì è April.
Old hag. All right, you heard her. Double time.
Quindi andiamo nel suo appartamento mentre lei non c'è. No. Non ho mica capito. Se andiamo da una parte non possiamo andare dall'altra. Gennaio, una volta tanto volevo sottolineare i progressi compiuti dai giorni. Ieri sono passati. Quindi. Perché dovremmo voler andare nell'appartamento di April mentre lei non c'è? Guardate, è la televisione quella. Ah, lei è ancora qui? Andiamo a parlarle, che cazzo?
Mem, there you are. I've been looking for you for hours. Where have you been?
Do I know you?
Porca puttana.
Yeah, you're a real comedian. Seriously, where have you been?
I'm sorry, but I don't think we've ever met.
What the hell? What's the matter with you?
Shit. My little visit to the Warlocks. I think it left a mark. I'm sorry, I'm really confused.
You fucking kidding me? Mem, we've always been there for each other. You're my twin flame.
I don't remember.
What a fucking nightmare. What's going on? We were... Damn it.
Cazzo.
I'm sorry, I have to think.
Non si ricorda. Non ci ricordiamo più di April. Pensate a questa cosa, siete innamorati di qualcuno e vi dimenticate di lui o di lei. E non potete neanche soffrire perché non ve lo ricordate. Porca puttana, ragazzi, questo è pesante come... a livello emotivo. Poi a livello di gioco non so quanto ci servirà o influirà. Però il gioco è iniziato con loro due che stanno arrivando qui. Queste abbiamo già lette. Ah, Jason Moore. Sì. Sì, tutta roba che abbiamo già visto. Vediamo se riusciamo a origliare qualche conversazione.
Things would go a lot faster if I wasn't being interrupted. What do we do if the hunters show up?
Li prendi a frustate con la tua treccia.
It's unfortunate, but I understand. You're not used to having kindred pay attention to you. But there's been a misunderstanding. You aren't of any importance to me whatsoever.
Oh.
I'm sorry if I led you to believe otherwise. That was not my intention.
I'll be leaving now. Farewell, Fang.
I expected nothing less of you. Goodbye, Mr. Underwood.
Grande. Bello che vediamo le cose, le conseguenze delle nostre azioni.
Sylvia, darling, what a night.
Can I get you a vessel, Miss Bosley?
No thanks.
Voglio parlare con
Your
Fang.
juice bags are nice, but they lack character.
Good evening, Miss Lewis. Please, don't call me that. MM will do just fine.
Oh, all right, MM.
Proviamo così. 57% di possibilità. Grande.
Things have been pretty crazy the past few nights. How are you holding up?
It's very kind of you to be concerned about me. I'm worried about Mr. Bazori, that's all. The prince's faith in him has put him on the front line. I'm afraid something will happen to him.
You're gonna have to learn how to keep a cool head if you want to survive here. You're surrounded by sharks.
I'm used to being surrounded by predators.
Then you shouldn't be too far out of your element here.
I heard you hated this place, and yet you're still here.
It's not that easy to leave the Camarilla.
So you're only here because you have to be.
Let's say it plays to my advantage. Did Bazori tell you not to trust me?
I don't trust anyone. It's not personal.
Your sire gives good advice.
Oh, I didn't need Mr. Bazori to teach me that.
I've met neonates who are more worried than you, and they'd already been embraced.
I know I'm not in the greatest position, but it's only temporary.
You sound pretty sure of yourself.
Caleb is valued by the court. There's no reason to refuse his request.
Hazel could decide he's already had enough children. Underwood takes up enough space as it is.
With all due respect, Mr. Underwood had his day. Ms. Iverson is a modern woman. I've got every chance.
Vero, però.
You haven't been at court for long. Where did you learn to hold your own with monsters like them?
I think my job has something to do with it.
What do you do?
I'm in economics. I'm a researcher studying the blue economy.
Can you translate that for common immortals?
I'm an advocate for a more responsible economy. One that's more environmentally friendly.
I see. There's a lot of work to be done.
That's for sure. But my research shows that a different future is possible.
Grande su Fang.
Your sire doesn't look like he's going to show up.
He's a busy man.
That's unfortunate for you. Zori's not the only person with the full plate. I've gotta go.
It's been a pleasure.
Have a good evening, Fang.
You too, Miss Lewis.
Hilda e April stanno parlando.
Hey, Sylvia.
Hey, how are things? Let me know if you need anything.
Con loro non possiamo parlare. Di sangue non abbiamo bisogno. Questa è la sopravvissuta. Ah.
Look who crawled out of her den.
Himiko? Shit. I didn't recognize you.
How charming. I remember you being of the polite and charming sort.
You don't have your ropes, and it's been a long night.
Any word from your Black Rattlers?
I didn't think my clubs were worthy of your interest.
Come on. You know I love your clubs. All that diversity, it's so exotic. We should work together sometime.
Why not? I'm sure you'd find an audience.
Fantastic. It'd be quite the change from my usual clientele. I've never rubbed elbows with the lower classes. I can't wait. If you'll excuse me, I need to go rest. I'll see you later.
Yeah, sure.
Tu devi bere tantissimo sangue e curarti tutte quelle ferite. Altro che rest. Non sentiamo quello che stanno dicendo, no? Cos'è che c'è qua?
Don't
Prendi.
even think about it.
I wasn't going to.
Cosa sono? Le chiavi.
Did you need something else?
The reports from Richard and Leisha are truly frightening. I never thought I'd see a day like this.
Predators never see themselves as prey. We're going to have to be extremely cautious if we want to survive.
Do you have any plans?
No, I'm waiting for Hazel's orders. We're dependent on her now more than ever.
Io vorrei, però anche spendendo così tanti punti siamo in pari. No. Idem.
I gotta go. I've got stuff to do.
Just a sec. I know Hazel told you not to talk about it.
Cazzo.
But please, at least tell me where you're headed.
No, non
You're
vedevo.
unbelievable.
The air is thick in here. You can understand my concern, can't you?
I'm going to see the Anarchs.
Ma non...
What?
It's a long story. I'll explain when I get back. I've really gotta go.
All right.
Secondo me ci sono
Be
tantissimi Alice di finali. A quel non difenderti non intendevo dire dille la verità subito a spiattellargliela. Speravo in un...
Are they coming already? I need more pairs of hands.
Continui a esplorare il luogo prima di andartene. Cosa dobbiamo vedere ancora? Questa cosa poteva ancora leggere in che senso? Sì, ma allora non è sbagliato, cioè io ho scelto di non difendermi, quindi in teoria. Però non ti... è come Mass Effect, no? O Dragon Age. Che il testo selezionabile non rispecchia del tutto quello che vorresti far dire al personaggio, ma perché è difficile. Capisco che sia difficile, però io voglio andare a parlare con Richard Underwood. No, scusa, non con Richard. No, Beryl si attacca al cazzo. Richard Dunham. Eccolo qua.
Locked.
E niente.
From inside.
E invece no. Non capisco perché, mamma mia. lo sai benissimo anche tu. Facendo giochi con RPG Maker, dare certe scelte ai personaggi, ai giocatori non è facilissimo e vediamo se questa è la minchia al Tremere. Magari ci può aiutare con la magia della memoria. Se n'è già andato? Dice il suo fedora. La sua fedora. Sì, no, ok. Dove cazzo è andato?
I didn't think he was into this kind of thing.
Se n'è andato. Che cazzo. E quella chi è? Possiamo saltare? No. Neanche con celerity. Aiuto! Ok, giù. Sto perdendo, vabbè. Allora. Lascia la corte e vado agli anarchici, è di qua, credo. Che si va via da questo posto, si va via di qua. Qua, abbandona. Noi vogliamo andare dagli anarchici. O prendi l'ascensore dell'ufficio di prima di andare per andare all'appartamento del principe. Andiamo a esplorare. Facciamo la scelta sbagliata. Andiamo dal principe. Andiamo a ravanare nell'appartamento del principe.
A direct route to the prince's apartments. April plays the guard dog. The swan's nest. I hope it's worth it.
Ah, ok, possiamo ancora fare il resto. E ancora da Jean. Lei conosce la profonda stima che nutrono per i confronti dei suoi consigli e il valore ancora più alto che attribuisco al nostro accordo speciale. Per questo le chiedo di svolgere il compito di cui abbiamo discusso ieri, un compito che lei era estremamente riluttante ad assumersi. Capisco le sue obiezioni, ma la cappella di Hartford è la nostra migliore opzione al momento. Quando dico in questo momento, è perché sconto sul fatto che la situazione cambi, un cambiamento in cui sarebbe coinvolto lei stesso. Nell'interesse dei miei progetti non posso rivelare i dettagli, soprattutto per iscritto, ma tenga presente che so da dove proviene e cosa hanno passato i suoi antenati. Hartford non è altro che un mezzo, uno strumento. Uno strumento può essere sostituito. Mi aiuti e quando sarà il momento l'aiuterò io. Ma se non troviamo da Jean a cui dare queste informazioni ce ne facciamo poco. Biglietto visita del club sono le cose che a noi ci danno i punti volontà, ok.
I didn't know Hazel was into music.
Il lago dei cigni. B F D A C. Me lo scrivete, ragazzi? B F D A C. Aspettate, faccio io. Che secondo me B F D A C potrebbe essere una delle password. Se è una password, grazie Ali. Se è una password, chiunque l'abbia lasciata lì è un cretino, però vabbè. Mio principe, ho inoltrato la sua richiesta di maggiore informazione al signor Underwood sul signor Underwood a Jason Moore e posso solo congratularmi di lei per aver adottato una tale iniziativa. Ho osservato un costante aumento di contatti del signor Underwood con i mortali di tutto il mondo, in particolare in Sud America e in India. È molto riservato, ma nasconde le sue transazioni finanziarie meglio dei suoi contatti. Ha bisogno di controllare tutto. L'azienda di famiglia che ha ereditato si è trasformata in un'ampia capillare rete che controlla l'industria dello zucchero. Ok. Caius ha detto, ok, quindi Caius sta spiando. Quindi Underwood ha contatti con Hilda, la nostra Sire, e Richard Dunham, il Sire di Leisha.
There are faint marks on the wall. There are faint marks on the wall.
Usa la chiave che non ho. Delle lettere. Chissà che volumi dobbiamo prendere. Che figo il letto in mezzo alla stanza così.
I understand better now why Dijon never mentioned his sire. Hazel's always one step ahead.
Dajan Siaka. Robe sul passato. Io immagino questa cosa piena di sangue, non so perché. Oh, chissà cosa succederà qua.
I get the feeling something's missing.
Ma va?
I've always found swans very moving. They're beautiful, but full of melancholy. It's a nice symbol.
Quindi manca qualcosa da ficcarci dentro. Ci darà la chiave per aprire lì dentro.
There are faint marks on the wall.
E cosa me ne faccio dei faint marks? Un cigno in miniatura. Chissà dove va. Carino. Chiave.
I wonder if...
Allora. BF DAC. B. No, ho sbagliato.
There are faint marks on the wall. That noise. Something moved.
Indovina cosa? Qua la porta? No. Lì i documenti.
So Hazel has her eye on my clubs. Ugh, politics.
Caro
Always
Jason,
politics. What's
come
her
principe di
game?
Boston,
Is this how she thanks her allies?
sai che sono per la ricerca di opportunità per espandere il mio dominio. Ma quindi i miei consiglieri hanno portato alla mia attenzione un'opportunità per rafforzare la nostra presa sulla vita notturna di Boston. Vorrei che valutaste l'acquisizione di un certo numero di locali, un elenco specifico allegato a questa lettera. Sia del caso che questi siano attualmente utilizzati da Mem Lewis, che lei non conosce molto bene. È una di noi, ma le chiedo la massima discrezione sulla questione. Cordiali saluti.
That explains why Hazel's holding off on Fang's embrace. Underwood. What a creep.
Mio principe, ho sentito che temete la partenza del mio caro sire, Galeb Basori. In effetti, la progressiva scomparsa dei più anziani tra noi è fonte di preoccupazione, soprattutto quando riguarda un elemento così leale e prezioso come Galeb. Tuttavia credo di avere un modo per tenerlo a sua disposizione ancora per un po'. Il mio sire si è alquanto infatuato di una giovane promettente e desidera abbracciarla, più di quanto non l'abbia mai visto desiderare qualcosa. Perché, si chiederà? Perché scegliere di avere un altro infante quando ne ha già uno affamato come me? Affermato. Io stesso non oserei esprimermi sulla questione, mi unirei a lei ponendomi le stesse domande. Così questa Su Feng, che è il nome dell'oggetto dei suoi desideri, dovrebbe essere presentata formalmente molto presto. Sa come ci tiene il caro vecchio Basori alla tradizione. Naturalmente lui la abbraccerà solo quando lei avrà dato il permesso di farlo. Ecco perché le suggerisco di usare qualche scusa poco chiara, come il sovraffollamento di Boston, ad esempio, per prendere tempo. Lui capirà, se Galeb ha un pregio, è proprio quello di comprendere i principi, ma anche quando prendono decisioni che vanno contro i suoi interessi. Temporeggi, rimandi o magari semplicemente ignori le sue richieste e lui sarà ancora più disposto a darle prova del suo valore per dimostrarle che se lo merita. Ovviamente non mi aspetto alcuna forma di compenso per questo consiglio, che merda. Il semplice atto di servire il mio principe e la corte di Boston di compiere insomma il mio dovere per me è già una retribuzione sufficiente. Che merda!
Bazori is a loyal dog, and Hazel's got him on a short leash.
Durante il regno di Quentin King, Gale Basori ha sempre tenuto un comportamento irreprensibile, eseguendo ogni compito. Jared Rory è un'altra Nosferatu. È lo strumento ideale per eseguire il lavoro sporco, perché è freddo ed efficiente. Non proverò nemmeno a numerare il sangue debole, gli anarchici e i dissidenti da lui affrontati e sconfitti. La fedeltà assoluta nei confronti del suo predecessore suggerirebbe di metterlo in disparte o perfino di rimuoverlo. Ciononostante, la invito a non prendere la decisione affrettata in tal senso. L'ho detto che volevo farlo fuori. Al contrario, ottenere Galeb Basori il più vicino possibile mi sembra la cosa più saggia da fare. Infatti la sua realtà non era rivolta a Quentin King in quanto individuo, ma a lui in quanto principe, un ruolo ricoperto oggi da lei, signor Iversen. Galeb Basori potrebbe diventare rapidamente una delle sue migliori risorse. No. Rimango a sua disposizione per fornire rapporti sulle varie missioni, ma la lettura completa delle stesse mi sembra superflua, perché numericamente troppe. Ok.
Hazel said there was an accident, but it was actually an execution. If Leisha were to find out...
Gentile signora Iversen, a malincuore le confermo di aver eseguito i suoi ordini ieri sera. Ah sì, non c'è più. Quindi sicuramente non dovrà più temere nuovi incidenti. Ho già preso accordi con l'Istituto per Leisha, perché sono certo che sarà sconvolta e si sentirà male. Pur comprendendo le sue ragioni, con tutto il rispetto, devo avvertirla che la scomparsa di Halsey non comporterà necessariamente un aumento del potenziale di revisione di Leisha. Dirò a quest'ultimo che c'è stato un sfortunato incidente, se necessario, manipolerò i suoi ricordi per evitare il peggio. Può contare sulla mia discrezione, io farò lo stesso. E questo non ci libera dal dubbio che se Halsey sia vera o finta. Se la chiudi. Chiudiamo tutto, si può? No, qui lasciamo tutto aperto. E vabbè. Quindi giustamente...
I should go. It's gonna be a long night. First, the Anarchs. But I have to find them first.
Vediamo se abbiamo lasciato indietro cose. Avrei potuto scoprire un segreto su Hilda. Potevo in effetti spendere quell'essenza, quella volontà. Ma non l'abbiamo fatto. Leisha c'ha un bot di punti esperienza. 15 così. Troppo. Allora, lei un po' di roba esplorazione però gliela vogliamo dare. Sì. Un altro qua. 35 così si alza quello e delle discipline in realtà a noi ci piace già come siamo. La prossima missione la alziamo Auspex. Questa è un'altra visione. È stata la prima che abbiamo usato in missione. Al party. E abbiamo sbagliato. Non abbiamo salvato l'infanzia del principe.
Yes, Mom. I'm here.
Ah, siamo nella stanza di Richard.
A floppy disk. That's all Richard knows how to use. A floppy disk. That's all Richard knows how to use. Maybe I'll find a way to read it.
Huh. Bello il fatto che i vampiri sono legati al loro passato e non sanno evolversi. Quindi usano tecnologia vecchia.
How many hours have I spent sitting in this armchair for my therapy sessions?
Questa abbiamo già letta la volta scorsa. Chi siamo? No, ora siamo in oscurazione.
Nothing. Ugh. It's true that he always saves everything on old media.
Quindi inserire il supporto di memorizzazione. Inseriamolo. Eccolo il PC. Cara signora Riversen, come sua richiesta il signor Underwood è venuto nel Salone Rosso per condurre un'indagine in vista della collaborazione con i Tremere di Alford. Possiamo confermare che la produzione potrà triplicare se rispandiamo le operazioni delle nostre seminterrate. Penso che sarebbe opportuno creare una riserva destinata a solo un terzo della produzione di Alford. A tale scopo metteremo anche a disposizione un'area di stoccaggio a temperatura controllata. Per quanto riguarda le sue domande più pratiche, la prego di non includere le formule che ho elaborato nei suoi rapporti. Anche il signor Underwood ritiene che debbano essere tenute segrete per mantenere vantaggio in questo accordo. Entrambi crediamo che convincerli a mandare dei Tremere a Boston per effettuare dei test di stabilizzazione del sangue sarebbe un'alternativa migliore. Per quanto riguarda una produzione industriale di più di 400 unità alla settimana, preferisco peccare di prudenza. Sono in grado di produrre tutto da solo nel mio laboratorio. Però puntare a qualcosa di più all'inizio richiederebbe un trasloco e ci farebbe sicuramente notare dai nostri fornitori di materie prime. Spero di averle fornito informazioni mancanti per la sua riflessione in merito a questo accordo che, oltre al gigantesco passo avanti che consentirà alle scienze, sarà senza dubbio l'alba di una nuova Boston sotto il suo regno. Cordiali saluti.
Richard must have had a breakthrough, if Hazel's interested in it.
Eh beh. A parlare si va avanti. No, vai da Halsey. Che ci dirà, mamma, perché moriremo tutti? Oh, yeah.
Hey, Pumpkin. What are you looking at?
The picture is scary.
Come now. There's nothing to be afraid of. You're not going to be afraid of a couple paintings now, are you?
No, but...
Yes, I know. It's Richard. He was angry, but he wasn't angry with you. You know...
I don't think he is. He doesn't like me following you around.
Yes, but it's because he worries you'll get hurt.
Insomma.
Pumpkin, there are much more serious things going on right now.
Those people who put us into boxes.
Yes, them. But don't be scared. Mommy's here.
I know.
I won't let anyone hurt you. Ever.
There you are.
Eccolo qua.
Where have you been? I've been looking for you since I got back, but...
The prince hasn't given me a moment's rest since I returned.
I won't hide the fact that I was happy that you were the one to... well...
That I informed them about the Second Inquisition. Yes, I can imagine.
Everyone's petrified. I can sense it.
Hazel lost it when she found out. I had a hard time convincing her I was telling the truth.
I admit that even I...
She's going to ask for your help, I'm sure of it. She didn't follow your treatment protocol. Usually, I give you your treatment when you awaken. You're not stable, Leisha.
Enough with that already.
You failed miserably with the mission the prince gave you. That's proof of it.
What do you mean?
You didn't bring Miley back to the prince, for starters. You slipped up.
What do you mean? I was sure that...
You'll become more and more overwhelmed by your visions and your hallucinations. All this because she's afraid. Hazel has become dependent on you.
Meglio.
Don't you think you're blowing things a bit out of proportion? Dependent on me?
On your visions, of course. Don't you understand? She didn't bring them up.
She did mention them in passing.
She needs your premonitions to help her anticipate the future, to try to influence the course of events.
Wait a second. I don't see how my visions can help her.
Nor do I. Our visions are nothing more than possible metaphorical futures.
Excuse me?
Pardon me. Dropping the professional jargon, you only see things that could possibly happen.
But then why are they so important to her if nothing is certain?
Perhaps she wants to see if it's still possible to change the course of events.
But they're never very specific. And I hardly remember them. Why is that?
All I know is that she's kept me distanced from you a few times to seek your help. Often you didn't have any precise memory of what transpired, or only partially remembered it.
Is she manipulating
Anche
my
lei.
memory?
It would be the best way for her to keep your visions for herself, but I can't be sure of it. Here's a dose of your treatment. Take it immediately.
This will rid me of my premonitions. Is that it?
I don't have time to break this to you gently. I have to go straight to the point.
What are you talking about?
Leisha, Halsey isn't real.
Sapevo io.
What?
It's not true, is it?
You're the only one who sees her.
No.
Our family has a gift for seeing things.
No. Halsey is my daughter.
In your mind. It's
Sapevo io.
always difficult to pull you away from her. That's why I try to treat you as soon as you awaken to keep Halsey from reappearing.
He's lying, Mom! He hates me!
You're either lying or you're wrong. I don't know which, but it's not true.
Leisha,
But Hazel sees her.
when your hallucinations increase, your premonitions do too. They become more specific and more reliable. And that's what the prince wants. But you grow increasingly catatonic. Halsey starts to take over.
No! I don't want you to leave me!
Enough! Shut up, both of you!
It's just you and me, Leisha.
Oh, no.
He's a liar! It's not true!
I regret having to inflict this terrible shock on you. Each and every time.
Every time?
Leisha, the prince wants to see you. Immediately.
Yes, of course. Just a minute.
I'm not supposed to be here. I should have left for the Red Salon already.
Why? No, you can't just leave like that. I have too many questions.
Hazel doesn't like to wait.
We'll have time. Go now. Obey the prince, Leisha. Stay where it's safe, and above all, drink.
There. I'm coming.
Pantaloni che superano la giacca no, però dai.
Leisha, I wanted to thank both of you for...
The prince sees me. See, Mom? Richard's a liar.
Are you all right, Leisha? You seem...
Quit pretending.
Come now, Leisha. What's wrong?
You've been pretending to see Halsey since the very beginning. Why did you lie to me?
Se ne sta
Lie to
convincendo.
you? I didn't lie to you. Halsey is part of you, and I accept you
Okay.
just the way you are. That's all.
Non possiamo intimidirla. Lo fa per interesse personale. 6 punti di volontà. Abbiamo il consumable. Facciamo 5? No dai, vinciamolo.
You're really only interested in my visions. You've been manipulating me because you're afraid of the future.
I fought hard to earn my place. I don't want to lose it.
Yes, but why have you been manipulating me?
Perché è un vampiro del
Manipulating
cazzo.
you? I've done nothing of the sort. It's not as simple as that. Hallucinations, premonitions, these visions are part of you.
So, Halsey, you're calling her a vision?
I don't think Halsey is putting anyone in danger, especially not you. I don't think anybody should tell you to change who you are.
Non l'ha tradita in realtà.
No, nobody. That's for sure.
And I'm surely the only person that believes that. Have no doubt.
I don't know.
You don't trust me.
I think I'm a little confused.
Mom? I don't understand. Why are you saying that?
Listen, I'm sure you weren't expecting it. I would have rather spared you all of this. But Richard is convinced you're better off without Halsey.
Yes, he told me that. He told me that if Halsey stayed, I'd have even more visions.
That's true, as far as I can tell.
And that I'd end up unable to tell what's real from what's imaginary. He's even provided me with a treatment.
Oh. Well, it's up to you to decide if you want to take it, of course. But before you make up your mind, we need your help. Our family is in danger, Leisha.
I don't know if I can.
Un'altra
I
missione
don't
anche
really
per lei.
feel like...
The Second Inquisition is here. You saw them yourself.
Mom? Mom, I'm tired. This isn't fun anymore. I want to go home. Please?
I'm tired too, Sugarfangs.
You need to help us.
Obviously. But what exactly do you want me to do this time?
An impression, an opinion about what's going on.
A premonition, basically.
Don't take it like that.
Yeah, no.
Others are less scrupulous than I, believe me.
What are you talking about?
Richard, for one, who has manipulated your memory multiple times.
What?
Ask him about it. Just know that there are far worse than me creeping around you, Leisha.
Mom?
It's not as simple as that. I don't choose when they happen.
Mom! Mom, listen to me.
Yes, sweetie. What is it?
There's no point. The swan will lose its head in 2 days.
Minchia.
I just saw it. We know, Mom.
What's going on? Leisha, is Halsey speaking to you? What is she saying?
Minchia. Diciamoglielo.
Halsey sees a swan. It'll lose its head in 2 days. But that could mean a lot of things.
It's not very clear, you mean?
Nothing's ever certain, and...
Of course. There's got to be a way to shuffle things. There must. Not after everything I've done. I won't believe it.
Hazel,
Please leave. I need to think.
As you wish.
La missione? Ah no, volevo una missione. Cioè una visione. È esempliato bene. Secondo me a livello di dialoghi è molto bello sto gioco.
Damn it.
È scritto bene.
I don't know who to believe anymore. Richard or Hazel.
Please, Mom. I'll be a good girl, I promise.
Uff. Cazzo. Prendere la cura vuol dire che non vedremo più Halsey e il principe ci lascerà stare. Cazzarola. No, già l'hanno morte fa abbastanza cagare. Se le visioni e la presenza di Halsey, nonostante sia finta, la fanno stare un po' meglio, teniamola. Chi ha detto che è sbagliato?
So, we're inseparable? Like two peas in a pod?
Yes. Like two peas in a pod, sweetie.
Mom? What's wrong?
Visione. Questa porta non l'abbiamo visto. Il Redrum, esatto. C'è anche la bambina. Ci fanno giocare nei panni della bambina? No.
Mom?
Yes, I'm fine. It's all right. It's just, I need to talk to Richard, Pumpkin.
Again? No, we're happy together.
It's not just you. The hallway, my memory. He has to explain this. I want to understand.
All right. As long as we're together.
Ah, chiaramente in mezzo alla stanza c'era Halsey. O si sta immaginando, perché nella stanza con lei, nella stanza del manicomio, c'erano un sacco di ombre. Ah, già fatto? No. Ok, pensavo... In realtà volevo... Pensavo che durasse un po' di più, giocare ancora una mezz'oretta e poi staccare. La sua storia è molto bella. E qui siamo di nuovo alla scelta. Red Salon. Ah, giusto perché Rich è andato lì. Ma in anche c'è Long Island. Allora io credo che taglieremo qui. Adesso iniziamo un livello e stacchiamo così riprendiamo domani. Adesso però decidiamo di capire cosa giochiamo domani. Visto che lei ce l'abbiamo giocata poco stasera, andiamo da lei. Allora, Red Salon. Finalmente identificata la minaccia, è venuta l'ora di contrattaccare. Asa Riversen ha escogitato in piano ardito per battere i mortali. Leisha spera di trovare Richard nel suo bar di sangue, il Salone Rosso. Cerca risposte alle domande sulla sua identità, sul suo passato e su sua figlia. 170 punti. Intanto l'abbiamo detto poco fa. Ci pigliamo le visioni. Andiamo all in con le visioni. Ho un nuovo PC dell'ufficio per lavorare da casa, almeno qualche giorno, almeno giorni in ufficio. Ah, adesso quindi sei tornata in smart working? Allora, 30, 60, 30, 10. Beh, vabbè, 2 giorni su 5 va bene, dai. Lo mettiamo mentale.
I get the feeling I've been here before.
Ci sta. L'ufficio sta ancora facendo lavoro. Ok.
Sorry, we're closed. Alacia! I'm so sorry, I didn't recognize you.
I have to see Richard.
It's kind of a bad time. There's a code red and...
I know.
Anche qui sono tipo tutti stile Ice Shot con le maschere.
Still in the basement. I need you to take care of it when you're finished here.
No problem.
And if you see Wyatt, tell him
Ma
I'm
è-
looking for him.
All right. If I see Wyatt, I'll tell him.
E Underwood. Bene, ragazzi, direi che per stasera abbiamo dato. Fatti vedere se c'è qualcuno da redare. Speravo, se c'è Veronica ancora che sta giocando di ruolo. Stasera aveva... No, c'è il custode, andiamo dal custode. Che però è 00 underscore OO. Allora, sono contento che siamo andati avanti stasera perché abbiamo recuperato la live di ieri sera che è mancata. Noi ci vediamo ancora domani sera. Andiamo dritti, dritti. Cerchiamo di giocare il più possibile. Per la terza notte di gioco, questa credo sia ancora il... Che notte è questa? Ah no, è ancora la notte del 5 settembre. Menu principale, andiamoci. Bene, la storia di Lash è veramente la più figa, obiettivamente. Ci sono rimasto malissimo che Mem abbia dimenticato April e probabilmente avremmo potuto evitarglielo. Cazzarola. Bello, molto bello. Grazie a voi della compagnia. Andiamo a salutare il custode che credo stia giocando ancora a Ender Lilies, gioco che mi interessa parecchio. E poi noi ci vediamo domani sera, sempre con Vampire the Masquerade Swansong, e ricominciamo da il Red Salon. Buonanotte e a domani.